Laura B's case may not be unusual. Traumatic events in the life of any young person can trigger activity, and it's not surprising that a girl suffering from this could become a victim of strange demonic activity. Laura had suffered from her alcoholic father's constant abuse since childhood. She was terrified of the basement of her house, especially at night, where her father's burial chamber was located. This fear intensified with her increased drinking. Laura avoided entering the room for a specific reason, as there was always a painful drinking session. After her parents' divorce, Laura began to feel better in her room, attributing this to a psychological reaction. She even managed to overcome this fear by watching the television coming from the basement, which she didn't turn off when going to sleep, or directing it to any other direction. But one day, Laura began seeing a red flash, like a laser beam, in her room. When she watched the TV, a green square would appear in the center of the screen, and this area would expand, forming a kind of image. These feelings caused Laura such distress that she would turn on the balcony light or the television to escape the terrifying experience. Laura tried to convince herself that this was just a hallucination, but it happened night after night. Every time she saw the red light, she knew the TV would turn on, so she would turn it on and close her eyes. However, she didn't experience any of the intense flashes that prevented her from sleeping in that room. One night, 4 of Laura's friends decided to meet up and stay overnight at her house. They entered her room, and she was alone in a small room. One of her friends, unaware of her presence, entered her room. Suddenly, Laura noticed smoke coming from under her door, along with a substance seeping in. Suddenly, her friend's room turned black, then white, then black again. This room couldn't be normal. From that day on, Laura began to notice unusual activity filling the house. She couldn't tell what was happening, and her dog would sometimes make a strange television appearance, then become very agitated. She also sometimes heard scratching noises on the walls, and when she looked for the source, she found nothing. Laura says that once she invited her best friend over for a night, and while she was watching television, someone grabbed a 4-piece towel and rubbed it all over her body from head to toe. It was the worst feeling she'd ever experienced, and she and her friend screamed and ran out of the house. She also says that one day, as she was returning home in the evening, she found the neighbor's dog standing in front of their house, staring at her with its eyes completely black, its jaw broken, and its tongue hanging out. Laura was frightened and ran quickly inside her house. In the morning, she found a completely healthy dog, and this phenomenon was repeated again. But Laura dismissed the idea that there was something until it lived with her in her house.